Good day. This is the 16th video tutorial on Designer program. In today's lesson, we will build a strategy based on finding the maximum volume price value. That is, analyze one of the volume profile values. The strategy meaning will be as follows. It will be necessary to obtain a candle volume profile and find, using the converter cube, its price at which trades will take place. Our strategy will trade to buy if the closing price is higher than the opening price and sell on the sixth candle. Based on these conditions, using the converter cubes, we will need to get the value of the opening and closing prices. It will be necessary to create a counter that will count the number of candles and send a signal for sale. It will also be necessary to use the flag cube, which will be lowered when buying and raised when selling. Thus, to trade correctly. To begin with, let's create a schema for obtaining candles. For this, we use the variable and candles cubes. To obtain a volume profile, use the converter. Select the maximum price value in the cube settings. This property allows you to get values at maximum volume, such as maximum volume price, volume value, sale volume, buy volume, and other properties. Select a price. Now our strategy will execute trades at the maximum volume price. Move the cubes up. To make trades, we need to compare the closing price and the opening price. For this, we get them using the converter. Specify the closing price in the first cube and the opening price in the second. To compare these values, use the comparison cube if the condition is met. Then it will give a buy signal. Select the comparison cube and connect it to the cubes with the opening and closing prices. Set the comparison sign. Now, if the closing price is higher than the opening price, a buy signal will be given. In order to avoid improper trading, namely when a buy occurs at each condition fulfillment, which is wrong, use the flag composite cube. This cube, when the conditions are triggered, is lowered and does not allow making a subsequent buy until its state is changed to raised after the sale trade. Select the flag cube and set it. At the input, this cube has two sockets. The upper one via which the trigger signal comes, and the lower one which drops it. At the output, a signal is generated, which is passed further along the schema, in our case, to make a trade. Now, after receiving a signal about the condition's fulfillment, the flag will pass a signal about the trade and will be lowered. It will rise when a sell trade is made, allowing the strategy to continue buying. Finalize our strategy by setting the order registration and the chart panel cubes. Connect the cubes. Set the cubes to assign the volume and portfolio of trade. Connect the flag cube with the order registration cube. Set the trade direction and connect the price socket to the maximum volume price socket. Now, if the condition is met, the comparison cube will pass a signal to the flag cube, which will pass a signal to the buy cube trigger and be lowered, preventing two buys in a row. According to the strategy's conditions, the sale must be made at the sixth candle. We need to build a simple counter that will count the candle number up to number 6. And it will give signals to sell and raise the flag to the flag cube. Use the variable cube. Assign a value equal to 0. In the second variable cube, set the value to 1. This will be the increment value. To make the counter work, we will use the formula cube, in which we will set the expression for the counter. A plus B, and connect the cube with the variable cubes. After calculations, the formula cube will pass the resulting value to the variable cube to increase the counter. Let's simplify the schema by deleting the variable cube and setting the increment inside the formula. Simplifying the schema makes it more readable and easier to use. To trigger the counter and, accordingly, give a sell signal, we need the following. Set the extreme counter value in which the current state will be compared, that is, the candle number. To do this, set the variable cube to 6. For comparison, we will use the comparison cube. It will give a sell signal in the event that when the result of calculating the formula cube is 6. Select the comparison cube and connect it with the cubes. In the settings, specify the equal comparison sign. Now, if the current candle number is 6, then the strategy sells. Also, the comparison cube passes a signal to the flag cube to reset the flag to its original state. Select the order registration cube and set the work directions. Connect it with cubes. So now, our strategy gets the price of the maximum candle volume. If the condition for comparing the opening and closing prices is triggered, the strategy sends a signal to the flag cube, which in turn passes a buy signal and is lowered, preventing a repeat of a buy in a row. The buy is carried out at the maximum volume price. On the 6th candle, the strategy sells at the maximum volume price. With that, it returns the flag to its original state. It is also necessary to connect the variable cube trigger of our counter with the candle cube to pass data along the schema. We will also display our orders on the chart panel. To obtain a volume profile and its parameters, candles must be built. From the previous lessons, we know that they are built from ticks. Therefore, we must have the tick data downloaded. It is also necessary to check the box next to the volume profile item in the candle cube settings. Our tick data is stored in the network storage, so we will select it in the settings. Select an instrument. And we run the strategy. We have orders. Let's stop the strategy. As you can see on the chart, the first buy order, after which the flag is lowered, the second one after 6 candles for sale, while the flag is raised, and then a buy is made, there are no more candles, since the counter no longer updates the flag's state. In orders and trades, you can view the performed operations. Thus, the user can build strategies on the volume profile, obtaining profile data values, in particular prices, using the converter cube. This allows to work extensively with the strategy and the program as a whole. This concludes this lesson. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.